The following is a presentation of the Arena Sports Network, where every team has a fan.
Good morning.
One of those kind of nights where you just did not sleep well at all. It was one of those kind of nights for me. Well, that, I tell you good morning. Welcome to our Arena Sports Network Chicago studios. And this is Snowman in the Morning on this Thursday, October 3rd. And lots to get to, lots to tell you about that we're doing here at the Arena Sports Network. Second half of the show is Brian's journey, where I let you guys into my health journey to not only lose weight but get stronger, but to identify with folks that have gone through the same kind of journey. Maybe not as long as I have, but either way, that'll come at the second half of the hour. Rusty Silber will come in a couple of minutes with your morning sports update, and I'll talk a little Major League Baseball. Like I said, waiting for Rusty to come along with our morning sports update. Talk a little Major League Baseball. Are the Tampa Bay Rays this year's San Francisco Giants? And later on, I'll ask, what is the college football game of the week? And if anybody who's out there listening knows me and knows how much of a, quote, Big Ten fan I am, I put that in quotes for a reason, you'll know the game I'm going to select for the game of the week. Also, we'll let you know what's going on with the afternoon locker room. It's on the way back. We had to take a little bit of an extended hiatus, a little more than I had liked to, but given the fact that we're going to make it a lot better and do a lot better, the hiatus was necessary just to get scheduling down. Also, coming up tomorrow, while we have a chance, tomorrow we'll be at Marist beginning at noon, talking to some of the kids, talking to some of the football players, and we will be getting ready for Marist versus Carmel. It is their homecoming game. That'll kick off at 7:30, and Patrick Ketza and I will have the call on the arenasportsnetwork.com, as well as you can see the video on High School Cube. Look on the Marist Red Hawk page on the arenasportsnetwork.com, and you will pick up tomorrow night's broadcast. Then on Saturday, it's TIU's homecoming, as they will host Olivet Nazarene at Leslie Frazier Field in Deerfield. A lot of the parents that text into the broadcast will be out there. A lot of them are from out of town, and it's going to be very enjoyable. It's going to be very, very enjoyable, and I can't wait to meet some of these parents. Some I met last year at last year's homecoming, but we'll see. We'll see how everything goes. It's TIU Olivet Nazarene. That is this Saturday, and the kickoff is at noon. We'll be up at 11:30 with the pregame show. But right about now, it's time to get your morning sports fix live here on Snowman in the Morning. And to help me do that, I got a good buddy on the line, courtesy of Gigahertz, and that friend is Rusty Silber. Good morning, Rusty.
Good morning, Brian. How you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
Not too bad. Fun night in sports last night. I'm sure you caught some of it.
All right, well, let's get to it. What you got for me?
Well, morning, Brian, everybody. Welcome to Thursday, a day closer to the weekend. Bears return back to the practice field on Wednesday with their sights set for a Sunday afternoon meeting hosting Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints. Bears must find a way to disrupt the passing game, get pressure on Brees, maybe get a few sacks, too. Now, Landon Marshall and Peanut Tillman were a couple of players, though, that sat out of practice on Wednesday. Hopefully, they'll be ready for the game by Sunday. NFL Thursday Night Football has the Buffalo Bills visiting Cleveland. That'll be this evening. College football, 12th ranked UCLA visits Utah later on tonight. Air Force, Navy, Army, Boston College games will get a chance to play on Saturday, even though there's a government shutdown going on. Major League Baseball, the American League Wild Card Playoff, the Rays stunned the hot Indians 4-0. Indians had won 10 straight, closing out the season. Tampa Bay will be in Boston starting the divisional series tomorrow. National League today, Pirates at the Cardinals, Game 1 starting at 4:07 p.m. The LA Dodgers visit the Braves this evening at 7:37. The Cubs are showing strong interest in going after Yankees manager and former Cubs player Joe Girardi. However, the Cubs need to get permission from the Yankees to talk to him. Girardi met with the Yankees and was proposed a new deal on Wednesday. No word what Girardi is going to do. Blackhawks started its season with a 6-4 victory over the Washington Capitals the other night. We'll next host Tampa Bay Lightning on Saturday night at the United Center. Training camp continues for the Bulls ahead of the preseason opener against the Indiana Pacers on Saturday night. Joakim Noah and Kurt Heinrichs got out of practice with overall soreness yesterday. Lastly, who is, or should I say, who has the number one best-selling jersey in the world? And in the United States, it's not only LeBron James.
Oh, God.
I know you get excited about this. He outsold the Bulls' Derrick Rose, Kobe Bryant, Kevin Durant, and his teammate, Wayne Wade. Rusty Silver, Arena Sports Network Sports.
You had to end with another LeBron James note. Good grief. Thank you, Rusty. I'll talk to you tomorrow morning, buddy.
I'm 2 for 2 in 2 days.
Yeah, I know. Thanks a lot, buddy. Talk to you tomorrow morning.
Have a good day.
Rusty Silver on the Gigahertz Hotline with your morning sports update. Morning sports update brought to you by TCF Bank, the official bank of the Arena Sports Network. TCF, convenience in banking. Well, as you heard, the Tampa Bay Rays stopped probably the hottest team in baseball, the Cleveland Indians, by a count of 4-0. Took a peek at some of the things that were said about the Rays-Indians game on Facebook, and Joshua Jackson, my dear friend out of Jacksonville, Florida, made a very, very good, accurate statement. And his statement was that the Tampa Bay Rays are going to be a tough out in the playoffs, even though they are facing the league-leading Boston Red Sox. Well, could the Rays be this year's San Francisco Giants? Because remember, the Giants got into the postseason winning the West on the next to the last day last year. And then they were down 2-0. Pardon me. They were down 2-0 to the Cincinnati Reds. Came back and won the next 3 in Cincinnati. They lost the first 2 in San Francisco. Then they were down 3-1 to St. Louis. Came all the way back to win that series. Everybody waited for the other shoe to drop, and it never dropped. And then they went ahead and swept the Detroit Tigers in the World Series to claim their second title in 3 years. With the Rays, you have a manager that pushes all the right buttons at the right time. That's Joe Maddon. David Price gave him a complete game victory in game 163 to get into the wild card game against Texas. Yeah, that's where I had a little fun with Nelson Cruz, because Nelson Cruz was the final out. And we all know what happened to Nelson Cruz for 50 games. Was suspended for taking a banned substance. Shame, shame, shame. Now, with Tampa Bay going into Cleveland, now remember they played game 163 in Texas, and they played last night in Cleveland and shut out the Indians. They shut out the Indians, and the Indians were the hottest team in baseball again. They won their last 10 games coming into this wild card game. And they've done these they played these games on the road, which should be scaring a lot of people right now. Alex Cobb was the winning pitcher for Tampa Bay. He went 6 2/3, scattered 8 hits, walked 1, struck out 5. David DeJesus, pickup for Tampa Bay, leading off at the top of the order. He was 0 for 4. Evan Longoria was 1 for 4. So was Ben Zobrist. David Jennings was 2 for 3. Scott Voll got into right field in a pinch hitting role. Delman Young was 1 for 3. Yuniesky Escobar was 1 for 4. Finals on the board: Tampa 4-8-0, Cleveland 0-9-1. this is really going to be tough for Boston, even though Boston does have the home field advantage. Now, what will make Tampa Bay a really tough out? The fact that they have nothing to lose. They got into the wild card game having to play an extra game in the season, and they had to do that on the road. And they didn't celebrate getting into the wild card game. They celebrated getting into the division series. And while I'm looking at this, what comes of this for Texas? Where do they go from here? The last 2 years, they've been eliminated in the wild card game last year, and this year in a game 163, where they had a chance to get into the playoffs, and both times they failed. And remember, this is coming off of 2 consecutive World Series appearances. They lost in 2010 to the San Francisco Giants in 5 games, and they lost to St. Louis in a 7-game thriller. They had 2 chances to clinch the World Series in Game 6. Both times St. Louis came back and won it. But I believe Tampa Bay is going to be this year's San Francisco Giants. Now, the Boston Red Sox and the Detroit Tigers and the Oakland Athletics may have a lot to say about that, the 3-division champions. But, be that as it may, you never know what's going to happen. Pause for a break. When we come back, I will tell you what is this week's game of the week to watch. A lot of people have their opinion. I have mine. It's a little biased, but the heck with it. Everybody's picking this as the game of the week also. This is Snowman in the Morning on a Thursday on the Arena Sports Network.
My name is Matt Rencars, and I'm the founder of Fusion Ions. We are so confident that you're going to love our bands. We want you to try one risk-free so you can see for yourself how powerful these bands really are. Don't wait. Go to FusionIons.com to find out how you can receive your very own free Fusion Ions band. Take advantage before they are gone. FusionIons.com. That's FusionIONZ.com.
At Dr. Catherine and Associates, their goal is for people to be excited about learning how to save a life. They make CPR a fun and educational experience. Their classes are geared toward healthcare providers, teachers, sports coaches, families, and people of all ages. 75 to 85% of all out-of-hospital cardiac arrests happen at home. Are you prepared to help save a life? Contact Dr. Catherine and Associates today. They teach CPR 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, nationwide by appointment. Visit them at 820 East 87th Street, Suite 100 in Chicago, or give them a call at 312-623-2433. That's 312-623-2433. Or go online to learncprchicago.com. Dr. Catherine and Associates, in the community, for the community.
Gigahertz, providing customers with excellent service since 2008. Computer problem? Leave it to the staff at Gigahertz, priding themselves with an unparalleled work ethic and continuing to offer customers the lowest prices around. Gigahertz services include PC repair, networking, PC setup, custom PC builds, pickup and delivery, in addition to in-home and in-office service. Get small to large business solutions, service contracts, and much more. Computer problems? Gigahertz. And that's where we come in. Gigahertz for your computer repair and solution needs. In-home, in-store, wherever it's convenient for you. Think your PC's infected? Gigahertz offers free virus diagnostics, with most virus removals done in 48 hours or less. Plus, they'll optimize your PC. Take that, Best Buy. Give Gigahertz a call. 219-218-9323. That's 219-218-9323. Or log on to gigahertzpc.net. Gigahertz, and that's where we come in.
T-Mobile presents the simple choice.
Okay, so what you're saying is that with AT&T, we get the same old network that can get congested, right, buddy? This one can be slow.
Why are you talking to me like that?
Or there's this one. T-Mobile, it's less likely to get slowed down because you get 50% more bandwidth, right? Okay, so that's a 50.
Okay, we choose T-Mobile.
This one?
Yeah, that one, the one I pointed to.
You see? The monster chose this one?
Oh, we're going to use that word. All right. Okay, let's go there. Wow.
Man in the Morning continues on the Arena Sports Network. Good morning. It's Thursday, October 3rd, and talked a little Major League Baseball to lead off the show, and now we're going to talk a little college football. My good friend Kevin Horan, the Swamp Rat, will join me inside the afternoon locker room to preview his game of the week. My game of the week is in Evanston, Illinois, and it's the Ohio State Buckeyes and the Northwestern Wildcats. Oh boy, two of the top offenses in the Big Ten. I'm just lucky they're in different divisions for this reason. If they were in the same division, whoever loses this game will be knocked out of the running for the Big Ten championship game at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. With them being in different divisions, I don't think it's going to matter who wins or loses. I believe this game Saturday night will be a preview of the Big Ten championship in Indy. Now, I ran into a couple of Ohio State fans who are very confident, as well they should be. They're undefeated coming into this game. But we Cats fans are just as confident in this game. And the reason is, I think Northwestern has been more tested than Ohio State. And this is one thing that Swampy and I have talked about so many times, about a team that, schedules teams they're not supposed to play because they're going to blow them out. Teams that are there just to get a paycheck. That's about how you can look at it. But be that as may, back to the matchup. Northwestern and Ohio State. Now, if it was in Columbus, it'll probably, as much as I love my Cats, it'll probably be blowout city. And it's just Ohio State has this aura at Ohio Stadium. Northwestern's developing the same kind of aura at Ryan Field. And Pat Fitzgerald, who is in his 8th season as the coach of the Cats, has developed an aura as well. It's not a cocky aura. It's just an aura that you are not going to beat us in our house. Period. And Northwestern last year went 10-3. They won the Gator Bowl, which was on January 1st. They won the Gator Bowl, got the monkey off their back. As my good buddy Dave Bennett, the voice of the Cats, says, 64 years to the day that Northwestern won a bowl game. Now they have this, because expectations are high in Evanston. And when I say high, they are really, really off the charts, because Northwestern is thinking big. Once upon a time, Northwestern was just an academic institution. It still is. Well, let me change my sentence. They were just known for being an academic institution, and they were not known for their athletics. But since Gary Barnett showed up in 1995, and subsequently Randy Walker after him, and Pat Fitzgerald, who was promoted to being the head coach after Randy Walker's unfortunate passing, every year under Pat Fitzgerald, they've gotten better. Don't look at the records. Look at the team. And plus, Northwestern's going to get a key piece of their puzzle back in Venrick Mark, who is coming back off of an ankle injury. And other reports say that he will play. So this is going to be a fun game, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was a high scoring game. I mentioned my buddy Dave Bennett, who is the voice of the Northwestern Wildcats, and I know this is probably going to be last minute, but I hope to have him on either tomorrow before the game or Monday or Tuesday next week after the game to talk about this. Last time Ohio State was here was 2004. They were 6th rated at the time, and Northwestern jumped them early, but give kudos to Ohio State. They erased a 17-point deficit, tied the game at 27, had a chance to win it. Mike Nugent missed a field goal wide to the right. That gave the Cats a chance, and then this happened.
2nd and goal in overtime, 27 all. Bazinet under center. Brett gives, tearing up the middle. The Wildcats win! The Wildcats win! For the first time since 1971, the Northwestern Wildcats have defeated the Ohio State Buckeyes. And they have beaten them here in Evanston for the first time since 1958.
And they will try to make it 2 in a row at Ryan Field against the fourth-rated Buckeyes. Northwestern comes in ranked 16th in the poll, ranked 16th in the AP and the coaches poll. They're not ranked on Swamp Rats poll because they have the week off, and now they get a chance to really prove a lot. And think of how big of a game this is for Northwestern, not just for their football team, but for their university. You know, everybody's going to be into it. And it's homecoming for NU. It's homecoming for the Wildcats. There's just not much more I can say. And you know, I've talked to a lot of people that believe Ohio State's just going to come into Ryan Field. Pat Ketchum, my good friend and producer, being one of them, says Ohio State's going to blow out Northwestern. No, they're not. No, they're not. There is something about when Northwestern plays at Ryan Field. They don't care if you're ranked higher than them. They don't care if you're number one in the country. Northwestern's going to give you a fight, and my final score prediction, I don't know how close I'm going to be to this. I say Cats 48, Ohio State 44. It's going to be somewhere within the 4 to 7 point game, and a turnover may decide the game, or it just may simply come down to whomever has the ball last will win the game. But it's going to be a good one. It could have, and I'm being as bold as I can to put these words in this sentence, and Kevin's going to think I'm absolutely nuts. But I'm going to go ahead and say it. This game could have national championship implications. I said it right. A Northwestern game could have national championship implications. Because if they win Saturday night, they being the Cats, the Wildcats, I believe they're going to run the table. Never mind they have to face Nebraska in Lincoln. They beat them there the first time they went there. I think they're going to beat Ohio State. They're going to beat Nebraska, and they're going to win the Big Ten championship. And if they win the Big Ten championship, it's not just a January 1st bowl game that will await Northwestern. It's going to be a BCS game, which could frighten the daylights out of every good old boy, I hate to use that term, forgive me, that watches college football, and they are just going to be in stunned silence, looking and going, where did this team come from? I'll tell you where this team came from. They came from the depths of hell. They were the doormats of the Big Ten for a very long time. The year that changed all that was 1995, when they beat Notre Dame and Michigan in the same year, and Penn State. Notre Dame and Michigan were on the road. Penn State was at home. And they had a fellow at running back by the name of Darnell Autry. Every Northwestern Big Ten football championship team since 1995 had a great running back. In 1995, it was Darnell Autry. In 2000, when they shared the Big Ten title with Purdue, it was Damian Anderson. This year, it could be Venric Mark. And Venric Mark plays more than running back. He's also their kick returner, and as I mentioned, he's going to be coming back off of an injury. So the biggest game of the season is in Northwestern's hands right now. They have a chance to go out on in the national spotlight, which it will be on ABC Saturday night at 7 in Evanston, and I have the feeling Brent Musburger is just going to be over the roof. He's a Northwestern grad, calling the game. He's going to be over the roof, and I can't blame him. A chance to be back on the NU campus, a big game like this. Now, last year, Northwestern played Nebraska in an afternoon game, and Northwestern had a big lead, but Nebraska, came back and won, which questioned how Northwestern closes games. This year, it's been different. They were tied with California and won that game by 14. They were ahead comfortably on Syracuse, and they put that game away. Western Michigan took a little while for them to get going, but they put them away. Same with Maine. Now it's the Buckeyes. And remember, the Buckeyes are now off probation. They have a lot more to lose and a lot more to play for now. But still, I think it'll be in the hands of the Cats after this is said and done. And if that's the case, and I told Kevin this on one of our earlier afternoon locker room sessions, if they win this game, they will run the table. Now, the next game after that could be a trap game. Who knows? This is just one I believe. If Northwestern wins this game Saturday night, they'll run the table, including Nebraska in Lincoln. And if that's the case, we'll see Ohio State a second time, and that'll be in Indianapolis. Because nobody's going to touch Ohio State in that division. Nobody. Not even bleeping Michigan. So Saturday night, it's homecoming at NU. It's going to be a fun game. It's going to be a fun game. Win or lose. You know, I'm a Cats fan till I die. Win or lose, it's just going to be off the charts, and it probably could be the highest-rated college football game this year. You never know. You never know what's going to happen. Hey, folks, follow us on Twitter at Snow Morning Show and let us know who you are picking. Are you going to pick the Buckeyes or are you going to pick the Wildcats? Follow us on Facebook at the Arena Sports Network and let us know your pick. Ohio State or Northwestern, biggest game of the week and of the year, especially for Northwestern. I gave a lot of reasons why. I never had a chance to do this because we were running a little late in getting started. Snowman in the Morning on the Arena Sports Network, brought to you in part by Fusion Ions, negative ion bands. Live your best. Go to FusionIons.com or go to the ArenaSportsNetwork.com and purchase a band and get a discount while you're doing it. Fusion Ions, live your best. Also brought to you in part this morning by Slugmaster, official sponsor, one of our official presenting sponsors of the Arena Sports Network. Slugmaster baseball, softball, and hitting and training aids. Slugmaster turns batters into hitters. Visit slugmaster.com for more information or give my buddy R.K. Sack a call at 708-705-7354. Slugmaster turning batters into hitters. Whew. Now with all that out of the way, I'll take a pause and I will preview Marist and Carmel coming up tomorrow night at Marist High School. It's Marist homecoming, and you know it's going to be a madhouse in 3 minutes.
What is the IHSA?
For more than 100 years, the Illinois High School Association and member schools have provided opportunities for students to participate in interscholastic athletics and activities, which produce vital education benefits.
Did you know the IHSA offers statewide championship series in 14 sports for boys and girls and sponsors statewide championships in 7 non-athletic activities? Did you know the IHSA licenses more than 10,000 contest officials in 13 different sports and that more than 300,000 students participate in IHSA sports and activities every year? Did you know activity programs only account for 1 to 3% of the overall education budget in a school? Did you know the nation's first sportsmanship mascot was created by the IHSA in 1997 with the birth of Attitude? Did you know students who participate in activity programs tend to have higher grades, better attendance, lower dropout rates, and fewer discipline problems than students that don't participate? Did you know activity programs provide valuable lessons for practical life situations? Teamwork, self-discipline, time management, dealing with adversity, and communication skills?
Now that you know, get in the game. Be a fan and join the fun. Support your local high school programs.
This message has been brought to you by the IHSA. Challenge yourself.
IONZ.com.
Fusion Ions are the only bands that are clinically proven to work. Whether you're an athlete looking for better performance or you're simply looking to feel better, from age 8 to 80, Fusion Ions is for you. Don't wait. Go to FusionIONZ.com today to find out how you can receive your very own free Fusion Ions band. Take advantage before they're gone. FusionIons.com.
An ordinary sunny day, an ordinary fat with ordinary bunch of kids, and they were doing nothing. They were couch slouching, they were rug imitating, and lazy minute after lazy minute was...
Hey guys, that's a personal foul. Inactive activity on a sunny day.
Coming to the rescue was NFL running back Reggie Bush. They listened to Reggie, they got up, and play they did. There was fun and running. There were smiles and jumping.
and laziness was crushed.
Hey, kids, don't get a lazy penalty.
Kids, listen to Reggie and avoid lazy penalties. Be a player. Get up and play for an hour a day. Go online to check out smallstep.gov for fun playtime ideas.
So you can be a player, too.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Be a player.
Gigahertz, providing customers with excellent service since 2008. Computer problem? Leave it to the staff at Gigahertz, priding themselves with an unparalleled work ethic and continuing to offer customers the lowest prices around. Gigahertz services include PC repair, networking, PC setup, custom PC builds, pickup and delivery, in addition to in-home and in-office service. Get small to large business solutions, service contracts, and much more. Computer problems? Gigahertz. And that's where we come in. Gigahertz for your computer repair and solution needs. In-home, in-store, wherever it's convenient for you. Think your PC's infected? Gigahertz offers free virus diagnostics, with most virus removals done in 48 hours or less. Plus, they'll optimize your PC. Take that, Best Buy. Give Gigahertz a call. 219-218-9323. That's 219-218-9323. Or log on to gigahertzpc.net. Gigahertz, and that's where we come in.
On the Arena Sports Network. Well, pose the question online and send it to Facebook. Who do you have, Northwestern or Ohio State? And Josh Lopez, my social media maven and social media intern, called Northwestern in an upset, 30-21. And yeah, it would be an upset. It would be a huge upset. But like I said, and continuing this conversation, it's going to be a fun one. Either way, and my good buddy Kevin Horan highlighted this game. We highlighted this game when we talked on the afternoon locker room so many times. Yeah, Josh called Northwestern 30-21 in an upset. Would it be an upset? I don't think so. And the reason I say it wouldn't be an upset is because now you're talking about a team in Northwestern that's expected to win. They are expected to win. What was the motto in 1995? Expect victory. And they're beginning to expect victory every time out now, especially under Pat Fitzgerald. And it should frighten the daylights out of everybody in the Big Ten about how good, and I mean good, this Northwestern team is. And the crazy part is, I don't think they've fully reached their potential yet. They have two quarterbacks, Trevor Siemian and Kane Coulter. While Kane Coulter is the more athletic of the two, and Tracy Siemian put on some muscle to take a lot more hits. It's going to be fun. And that's probably the wild card that Ohio State is not expecting, I should say. They're not expecting it. They're not expecting it at all. Speaking of games of the week, got one for our high school fans on the Arena Sports Network. It's tomorrow, and it's at Marist. It's their homecoming as they host the Corsairs of Carmel. Pat Ketz and I will have a more in-depth preview of this game tomorrow on our afternoon show. But I'm going to give you a little bit of quick, recent history when these two teams got together. 2 years ago, Marist and Carmel played in a regular season game that defies logic. That's about all you can say. It defies logic. And the reason it defies logic, is because of the numbers that were put up, because of the year put up, and because, of the, oh boy, you ever have a belt sneak up on you? I'm sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry. You ever, not because of the yards that were put up, but because, and because, I should say, also the individual performances. And I mean, there were some great performances. Now, Marist, coming off of a loss last week in Joliet against Joliet Catholic, will try to right the ship with a home game. And they have not lost at home in a while. I have to get back to get me the last time they lost at home. But I want to say that the last time they lost at home was to Nazareth 2 years ago. I want to say that was the case. Well, I take that back. They lost in a playoff game at home last year, but they were minus Wisher, and I believe also Nick Wisher, their tight end, and P.J. Andriotti was also out of that game. But they are both back. They are both healthy, and Marist is finding out, when they're healthy, how tough of a conference this is. And, brother, it is a tough conference, especially when you have teams like Joliet Catholic that do nothing but run the ball, and they can fall behind 21-7 like they did last Friday night in Joliet and still ring up 500 yards rushing and still won't win by 21, 48-27. JCA is just that good. They are just that good. Okay? Don't be surprised if we're not talking about them in the state championships, which this year will be at Husky Stadium in DeKalb. Now, going back to this series, Carmel and Marist, and it's at Marist this year. 2 years ago, these teams played 2 overtimes in one of the most incredible football games that you probably never heard of or heard about. The final score was 64-63 Marist. And again, it was played in 2 overtimes. But I want you to take a look as we pull up the information here. I want you to take a listen to some of the numbers that came out of this game. And by the way, we should make a very important note. Marist is 3-2 and 0-1 coming into 2-1 coming into conference play tonight. Joliet Catholic and Bennett and Notre Dame each undefeated and each are 5-0. Now Marist gets Niles Notre Dame in Niles next week. They're one game, Marist is ahead of Carmel. Carmel's 1-2, and they're 1-4 overall. And Carmel got its conference win, defeating Marian Catholic last week, or I should say 3 weeks ago, 41-7. That's their only win in conference so far. Then you got Nazareth, St. Viator, St. Patrick, and Marian Catholic. And Marian Catholic has fallen on very, very tough times. Just hate to say it, but it's very tough times. Nazareth outran Carmel 27-17 last weekend. You know what Joliet Catholic did to Marist. 48-27 was the final there. Recapping Week 5 again. Bennett over Marian Catholic 40-7. Notre Dame over St. Viator 28-14. And St. Patrick defeats Bloomington 21-20. That's your slate in the East Suburban Catholic Conference, as we are 41 minutes beyond the hour. You're listening to Snowman in the Morning on the Arena Sports Network. We thank you for listening to us. And I'm trying to pull up some numbers before we go to our final break of Carmel and Marist from 2 years ago. Now, I gave you the final score. It was 64-63 in 2 overtimes. Ian Woodworth had an excess of 553 yards rushing. Nick Wisher caught 12 for 204. I mean, the Jordan Koss ran for 265 yards. This may be one of those one of those video game type of games. We'll see what happens. That's Friday, 7:30. That's at Marist. And we'll have the call for you, Pat Ketza and I, beginning at 7 o'clock with the pregame show. We'll have our afternoon show from Marist as well as we celebrate 2013 homecoming at Marist. A break. When we come back, time for Brian's Journey, and I'll talk about an issue that I have been struggling with and I hope to identify with a lot of people that work a lot, and that's lack of sleep. Had to deal with that last night, and I want to talk about that, and I may hit a couple of other points. Final break, and then we'll come back with Brian's Journey on the Arena Sports Network.
iGo Car Sharing, dedicated to creating a robust and seamlessly integrated transportation system that's ubiquitous, convenient, and affordable for individuals, and provides the region with expanded economic development opportunities and exemplary environmental performance. Since its inception in 2002, iGo has worked to catalyze a set of transportation innovations and make it feasible and desirable for Chicago residents to get around conveniently and economically without having to own a car, and at the same time reduce vehicle miles traveled and greenhouse gas emissions. A mobility system that is independent of private car ownership, requires solutions that use resources efficiently, saves residents money, and decreases the individual and regional ecological footprint. It allows residents to easily choose between multiple modes of transportation to move from point to point quickly, inexpensively, and conveniently. Innovative information technology can integrate both trip planning and service payment across all types of transit, including rail transit, commuter rail, local bus, bus rapid transit, and more. Visit us online at igocars.org and find a location nearest you. iGo Cars, Chicago's only hometown nonprofit car sharing company.
There's at least one place in every community where neighbors still gather and civic pride flourishes. One endless source of inspiration. One night where history is made and the nation's future seems brighter than ever. There's at least one high school serving every community in Illinois, and if you're not in the stands, you're missing out. High school sports are a part of our state tradition, but it takes the support of the entire community to make it happen. Be a fan. Support your local high school's activity programs. This message is brought to you by the IHSA, celebrating more than 100 years of high school sports and activities in Illinois.
How do you turn a batter into a hitter? With Slugmaster Hitting Stations. Slugmaster Hitting Stations are the most effective and durable baseball and softball batting practice devices available. Versatile, compact, and easy to use, they are excellent tools for ball player at any skill level. Attached to any pole or post for an instant hitting station. Use it at the ballpark, at home, or anywhere you want to get some hits in. Work the strike zone, top to bottom, in and out. The most complete workout year-round, indoors or outdoors, teams or individuals. Slugmaster equipment is constructed from high-grade steel. The rugged design means years and years of use. Slugmaster equipment is used by youth, high school, college, and professional ball players. For more information or to place your order, call 708-705-7354 or visit slugmaster.com. Slugmaster Baseball and Softball Hitting Aids, turning batters into hitters.
Have you ever dreamed of being a karate master?
Yeah!
Well, stop dreaming and start chopping with the Karate Glove.
Hi, my name's Molly, inventor of the Karate Glove, and I have just 1.5 words for you. Hi-ya!
The Karate Glove chops through anything. Just put it on and instantly chop through wood, concrete, brick walls, trees, small cars. It can even chop through these 8 guitars. It chops things.
If I can invent a karate glove, just imagine what you can do. Visit inventnow.org to get started on your invention. Anything's possible. Keep thinking.
Brought to you by the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, the National Inventors Hall of Fame Foundation, and the Ad Council.
It's Hiya time!
Snowman in the Morning is back as we come down the stretch here. A couple of my friends sending me messages about the Ohio State Northwestern game. Coming up tomorrow, we'll have Carmel and Marist. That'll be at 7:30 from Red White Stadium on the south side. Pat Ketza and I on the call, and that will begin at 7 with the pregame show. We'll take you from pre to post. And We'll have a special afternoon show from Marist celebrating their 2013 homecoming. A lot more after that. You heard the game of the week for college that I picked. It's Ohio State and Northwestern. That's Saturday night. For those of you listening along, Dave Annett will have the call on the Wildcat Sports Network. And if you're watching, I believe Brent Musburger is to have this call. It'll be on ABC, and that's at Ryan Field. Now it's time for Brian's Journey. This is a journey to better health and a way to identify with folks that have gone through some of the problems that I have encountered over the course of the years. Oh, boy, I'm off to a sluggish start. And that's what I want to talk about this morning. Getting a good night's sleep. And this day and age in the 21st century, I know it's tough to get a good night's sleep. I know it is. A lot of us are thinking about work. A lot of us are stressed out about money and about our living situation and about our family and about everything else. And we just don't allow our bodies to go to sleep. And yesterday I talked to, and this ties into everything else that I've talked about. It ties into stress, which I talked about on Tuesday. Yesterday when I had Matt Rinkars and Donald Barrett on the show with me, it ties into emotional eating. Because when you're stressed out and when you're eating emotionally, you don't sleep. You don't sleep. And I take full responsibility for not getting a good night's sleep last night because I didn't get in the house until 11:30? Yeah, 11:30, and I had to be up at 5:30 to help prepare for the show. And when you get a good night's sleep, you feel great. You wake up refreshed, and it's absolutely true that doctors say you must get a full 7 to 8 hours worth of sleep. Once upon a time, it was just straight 8 hours and above. Now they've given it to 7 to 8 hours. And what you find yourself doing, but I know I find myself doing this, when you don't get a good night's sleep, you find yourself trying to catch up during the day. You find yourself trying to sneak in a nap here and there, sneak in a little snooze like on the train, especially when you have to go out to Michigan City like I did yesterday. Hello to the good folks at Marquette Catholic, including AD Tony Midas. When you have to, when you're taking the train back, and that messes up your sleep pattern too. The only way to, I believe, fix your sleep pattern, and I invite anybody that has a thought on this subject to write in to bsnow@thearenasportsnetwork.com. The only way you can fix it is to allow your body at a certain time to relax. And what I started doing is I started turning on, and this is something I did before, but I got away from the habit. I turned on a little soft music, if that works for you. Shut off all the lights. There is a lot to this that, some of you were probably told in the past, and Lord knows I was. Shut off all the lights and just lay in bed until you fall asleep. I mean, there's no sense in trying to force it because your body has to relax. It has to be in a very relaxed state before you drift off to sleep. Now, I am not the first or the best on sleeping patterns. I'm just telling you what has what has worked for me and what has worked for some of my friends that I've spoken to about this. I'll repeat something I said on Tuesday. Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this Brian's Journey during the second half of every show? It's pretty simple. I'm tired of physically looking the way that I look, even though I've chopped 200 pounds in a couple of years, thanks to my fight with diabetes actually knocking some sense into my head. But at the same time, I want to make myself better for the folks around me and for myself. And not because people in my family tell me, oh, you have to lose weight, you have to be a certain... Man, shut up. I love y'all dearly, but shut up. I'm doing this for me. That is the reason I'm doing this. And the last thing that anybody on a journey like this needs is people in their ears and in their heads telling them how to execute their own journey. You're your own person. All right? All I'm doing is sharing my thoughts with the folks out there that have gone through struggles like this. Okay? That's all I want to do with this. It gives me a chance to be a consistent journaler, if there is such a word. Because I was given the advice a long time ago that you have to channel and journal your health changes, and it's very true. Basic method for everybody is to take a pad and a pen and jot everything down, or to use a computer, which I tried both. But this is the most effective method for me. And my friend Barry Cullum, who is a White Sox fan and a Blackhawks fan, told me, record your frustrations and then erase them, because you don't want anything coming back to get you. Yeah, it's true, especially with this day and age of instant reaction, and in this day and age of social media. It's very true. But like I said, all I'm doing is just allowing myself to be consistent when it comes to journalizing my health journey. And that's really what I want to do. I want to be consistent. I want to see the results that I am hoping for. And I just want to identify with some of the people out there that have gone through some of the stuff that I've been through. So getting a good night's sleep, 7 to 8 hours, is very important. When you get older, your body will crave that good night's sleep. I mean, when you were in your 20s and in your teens and 20s and 30s, you could go off of 4 or 5 hours sleep and still be strong the next day. When you get into your late 30s or in your early 40s, which is where I am right now, your body craves that sleep. It craves that battery charge. And besides diet and besides exercise, both of which I'm turning around, your body craves that sleep. I didn't get it last night. I admit it. I didn't get it, and I'm sluggish to start the day. But it's only going to get better. I'm doing this, like I said, to identify with people and also to encourage them. If you're starting a new health journey, please journalize it. The only way you're going to get better is if you physically see your mistakes, or in my case, hear them. This Saturday is the Fusion Power Hour at 8 a.m. with Donald Barrett and Matt Rincars. I'm glad I got that right. That'll be at 8 a.m. on the Arena Sports Network. You can go to the show page, thearenasportsnetwork.com, click on shows, click on Fusion Power Hour. It's presented by Fusion Ions. And so is Snowman in the Morning, presented by Fusion Ions, Negative Ion Bands. Fusion Ions, live your best. Don't forget, tomorrow, it's Marist and Carmel at 7:30. We'll be up at 7 with the pregame show. And this Saturday, Ohio State and Northwestern, the game to watch for all you college football fans, me being one. Hope you enjoy it. And I hope you enjoyed this version of Snowman in the Morning. I'm getting pretty comfortable doing a morning show. And remember my advice for the day, get a good night's sleep. Please get a good night's sleep. It helps your attitude, it helps your physical performance, and it just helps you get through the day and zoom through the day, and you have a lot of energy as well. And on that, I'm going to say good day to you. We will be back tomorrow with more Snowman in the Morning. Got more questions to answer. And if you want to tweet a question, tweet it to @ArenaSports13 or @SnowMorningShow. And I'll try to answer them. I think I'll designate Fridays as questions to be answered. That's all the time we have now. We'll be back tomorrow with more Snowman in the Morning on the Arena Sports Network. Visit thearenasportsnetwork.com, where every team has a fan. God bless. Talk to y'all tomorrow.